Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe, Part 161. And that he would take my side to the last drop of his blood, if there should happen the least breach of faith among his countrymen. He told me they were all of them very civil, honest men, and they were under the greatest distress imaginable, having neither weapons nor clothes nor any food, but at the mercy and discretion of the savages, out of all hopes of ever returning to their own country, and that he was sure if I would undertake their relief, they would live and die by me. Upon these assurances, I resolved to venture to relieve them, if possible, and to send the old savage and this Spaniard over to them to treat. But when we had got all things in readiness to go, the Spaniard himself started an objection which had so much prudence in it on the hand and so much sincerity on the other hand that I could not but be very well satisfied in it, and by his advice put off the deliverance of his comrades for at least half a year. The case was thus. He had been with us now about a month, during which time I had let him see in what manner I had provided, with the assistance of Providence, for my support, and he saw evidently what stock of corn and rice I had laid up, which, though it was more than sufficient for myself, yet it was not sufficient without good husbandry for my family. Now it was increased to 4, but much less would it be sufficient if his countrymen, who were, as he said, 16, still alive, should come over, and least of all would it be sufficient to victual our vessel, if we should build one, for a voyage to any of the Christian colonies of America. So he told me he thought it would be more advisable to let him and the other two dig and cultivate some more land, as much as I could spare seed to sow, and that we should wait another harvest, that we might have a supply of corn for his countrymen when they should come. For want might be a temptation to them to disagree, or not to think themselves delivered otherwise than out of one difficulty into another. You know, says he, the children of Israel, though they rejoiced at first for their being delivered out of Egypt, yet rebelled even against God himself, that delivered them when they came to want bread in the wilderness. His caution was so seasonable, and his advice so good, that I could not but be very pleased with his proposal, as well as I was satisfied with his fidelity. So we fell to digging, all four of us, as well as the wooden tools we were furnished with permitted, and in about a month's time, by the end of which it was seed time, we had got as much land cured and trimmed up as we thought want, 20 bushels of barley on and 16 jars of rice, which was in short all the seed we had to spare. Indeed, we left ourselves barely sufficient for our own food for the 6 months that we had to expect our crop. That is to say, reckoning from the time we set our seed aside for sowing, for it is not be supposed it is 6 months in the ground in that